everyone, welcome back to Deranged. Today we're going to talk a little bit about financing and that element of what we do. So obviously we do a lot of commercial vehicles, mainly commercials, and we're going to talk about the key benefits of that, why it's a good idea to buy a commercial vehicle. And Jake's with us today, and Jake's our finance manager, and he's going to tell us a little bit more in detail about the different ways of financing the vehicle and the benefits of each. So welcome, Jake, and I suppose we'll start with a few questions and tell us a little bit about, you know, each type of finance, because I think it's a lot difficult. Not everyone understands, you know, HP, you hear HP, LP, finance lease. Obviously there's a lot of contract hire out there. We don't necessarily do the contract hire direct from Deranged, but speak about some of the others and the benefits of doing the others over that. So I suppose firstly we can talk about the VAT element, because I'd like people to understand that and what the benefits of that are.
So primarily business purchases. We have sole traders, limited companies, all come in, obviously buy vehicles from us. The VAT element is quite important, you know, it's 20%, which is extra. If you are VAT registered, you can reclaim that in full. It's a massive saving, obviously you can reclaim it through the business on a hire purchase. With any leasing products, you spread that cost across the term and reclaim it every 3 months. So the VAT element is massive, as you said. It's all something to take into consideration.
Yeah, I think for people who are, say, maybe at the minute they're in a 4x4, or even a saloon car through the business. Obviously, you're paying company car tax on that if you're doing it through the business. Sometimes it doesn't even really warrant buying a car through the business, so you end up doing it personally. So then you obviously, by the time you pay yourself out of the business and then pay for that person, you've paid the tax on that money. Or if you do it through the business, you're paying company car tax. Obviously, you can't reclaim the VAT. I think you might be able to reclaim maybe half the VAT on some vehicles, on new vehicles. But obviously, benefit of a truck as well, or a van, commercial, is it doesn't matter whether it's brand new or used. If it's got VAT on it, you can still obviously claim the VAT back and run it through the business. Also, there's the corporation tax element, isn't there? So you're offsetting that against.
So again, purchase products offset the full cost against your taxable profit. You know, you can save a lot of money on tax, which we all like to do, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
And then with a finance lease, you can offset the monthly cost. So
if we go a bit more into the finance lease side of things and all the key points of that, if you explain.
Okay, so
how that works.
Finance lease, it's a low initial payment. It's absolutely flexible. You don't have to put a certain amount in. Traditionally, it's 1, 2 or 3 payments up front. Everything is plus VAT. So across the term, plus VAT, sort of fixed monthly payment. At the end of the term, you've got the option of a balloon or no balloon. So if you had a final balloon, you would sell the vehicle on behalf of the lender, and then anything above the amount you keep.
And would that balloon payment also have VAT on it? So everything's got VAT. So if you do a finance lease, every payment that you pay, including your deposit at the beginning, all of them are VAT. So you reclaim the VAT as you go along throughout your whole term of your finance. So the difference between that and then a HP or LP, and HP stands for hire purchase, and LP stands for lease purchase. So could you explain the difference between those two?
So hire purchase is, as it says, hire it and then you purchase it. So you've got fixed monthly payment throughout the term, own it at the end upon making your final payment. With a lease purchase, although it says lease in it, the key thing is that you have the option to purchase at the end. So there's a balloon on a lease purchase and no balloon on a hire purchase. And
the difference between a lease purchase and, say, a contract hire is that you've got the option to purchase it. So you are still forward planning to own the vehicle at the end, or to be able to part exchange it, opposed to having to give it back.
Absolutely.
So in my view, the benefits of that, especially if you're buying a vehicle from Deranged, would be that the Deranged vehicle has such a good value at the end of the term. So after 3 years, most finance companies will only offer a certain amount of balloon, and they're basing that really on a standard vehicle, maybe given a little bit of an uplift for what we do. But if you actually take the value of what we do and such strong residual value, after 3 years, our truck might be worth £5,000, say, for instance. I'm just quoting a figure out of the air, but it could be more than that, but say £5,000 more than the balloon. So at the end of that, if the customer decides to give the vehicle back, you've lost that money. If you have to give it back, sorry, you have to. But if you've got a lease, then you've got that £5,000 in the pot, for instance, to go towards the next one. Equity, exactly that. So that's obviously really important for customers to know when they're thinking about maybe going for a contract hire or going for a lease.
So guys, just wanted to cut to a bit of a visual for you, show you better how the products are, how they work. Hire purchase, we've got a minimum of the VAT up front as deposit, and monthly payments, no VAT because you've paid it up front, and then you own the vehicle at the end of the term. On the second option of a lease purchase, again, minimum of the VAT up front, it can be more, monthly payment, and then a balloon payment at the end of the term, which you either pay in full, refinance, or part exchange or sell your vehicle. Again, it is an ownership option. With a finance lease, you pay an initial payment up front. It is plus VAT. There's no minimum, no maximum deposit. You spread the cost across the term, all plus VAT. And then at the end of the term, depending on what you choose, a balloon is available. Again, all plus VAT. It's a non-ownership option.
So there's another thing to mention with lease or hire purchase is that mileage restrictions. Obviously you don't have, because you're essentially going to own the vehicle at the end, you know, you might get a balloon amount based on a certain mileage, but if you do go over, yes, it's going to affect the end value of the vehicle, but am I right in thinking that, you know, if you do, you're not going to get penalised as such, for, you know, you're not going to be restricted?
Yeah, so with a hire purchase, there is literally no mileage restriction. Do as many miles as you want in a year, 100,000 miles if you want to, you know, it's up to you, you own it at the end. With a lease purchase, there is a balloon which is based on an estimated mileage. So if you said you would do 10,000 in a year, at the end of the term, obviously you've said 3 years, 30,000 miles, that balloon is based on that vehicle being worth X amount with 30,000 miles.
But the beauty is obviously with the deranged package, we know that the vehicle is going to be worth
a bit more
from you know, the history of what we've done over the last 5 years. You know, it's proven that the vehicle is worth more. So if you do go a little bit over, you haven't got to worry and think, oh, I'm going to get too much in negative equity. Whereas with a contract hire, say, or
you can be penalised.
You can penalise and charge per mile over.
Yeah, there's no mileage charge. You are liable for the shortfall. If there is a difference in that.
Yeah, so for instance, if you had a balloon for 20,000 and the truck was only worth 15, you are liable for that difference. But we'd like to think, you know, obviously we can't ever say for sure, but with what we do to the vehicles and you're spending, the balloon is always very realistic, and with all of our upgrades on top, proven that, you know, they have got a strong residual value. And that, you know, you shouldn't be in negative equity, and I think a lot of people have problems with that these days. You know, there's finance companies and manufacturers out there doing such great deals and you know, really low monthly payments, but then they're not thinking about at the end.
It is sometimes a scary thing. You know, you've got a balloon payment at the end. That's a massive thing, but you know, we are realistic. The lenders obviously have a track record with us. They show what we've done in the past, the kind of vehicles that we've done, the actual value at the end of the term. So you know, we offer 3, 4 and 5 year terms, all with a balloon, without a balloon. And again, it goes back to your personal needs. You know, if you've got a budget, we can put a balloon to suit that budget, or straight repay the difference.
And I think people like the idea of being able to, you know, change a vehicle every 3 years, because obviously you've got the warranty to think about as well. So another thing to mention, I think, to everybody is that we do align ourselves with a manufacturer warranty. So we are not part of Ford, we are not part of Nissan, we're not part of any of the Toyota, any of the manufacturers that we use, but we do work in a way that, you know, it lets our customers feel comfortable that if they're buying a vehicle from us, not only do you get the manufacturer's warranty on all of the things that are standard, like the drivetrain and the body and everything that we haven't touched, but anything that we offer match the same warranty. So it'll be, you know, 100,000 mile, 3-year warranty, for instance, with Ford. So you got that little bit of grace that if you do have a problem, if something happens to something that we've done, you know, any of our paintwork, any of our products that we fit, we still cover you with that warranty. So it's just that peace of mind. You can drive that vehicle away. It's not like going to, you know, there may be other companies out there that don't offer that. And if you go and buy a vehicle from them, you're going to get yourself into all sorts of problems because, you know, 2 years down the line, you've got a problem with something and Ford are saying, you know, no, it's not down to us. And then the company's saying, oh, it's not down to them. So we do stand by that. We cover you. You know, the warranty side of things, we've always done that from the start, and I think that just gives that peace of mind and sets us above, you know, the competition.
Sets a standard across the competition as well.
It's nice to know the differences. I think the main thing is for us to, you know, obviously do this video for people to gain a little bit of knowledge and make their own decision. Obviously the decision is whatever works best for you as a business, but all of those options are there. Obviously from our point of view, you know, we like to buy the vehicles back as well. So, you know, we love after 3 years, 2, 3 years, 4 years, buy the vehicle back, or we can buy the vehicle back if you choose to go onto a different vehicle. Ideally, you'd have another deranged vehicle, and we would take it as part exchange. Be nice if you have, you know, like we said, you'd have a bit of equity at the end to come back, and that will go either, you know, towards your next vehicle. So that's really, I don't know if there's any other points you'd like to sort of discuss.
Again, touching on cash flow is king. You know, we can offer VAT deferrals, so something like that is quite important. If you do want to own your truck at the end, but you've just paid your VAT, or you know it's next month and you've not quite got the amount there, we can defer the VAT.
Yeah, so if you're right at the beginning of your VAT quarter, but you want your vehicle, but you know you're paying the VAT up front, but all of a sudden you haven't got that cash flow, you can choose to defer that up to 3 months. So that is basically the end of your quarter. By then you would have been able to claim your VAT back pretty much at the same time as paying it out.
So technically we can offer a you know, no deposit lease purchase or hire purchase, but the deposit will be the VAT in up to 3 months' time. So you know,
I think another thing as well is pointing out that if you do want to bring your monthly payments down, you can pay more than the VAT as well.
That's only a minimum deposit, and a general rule of thumb: every £1,000 will reduce your payment by up to £25 a month.
Because if you really think about it, if you're only paying the VAT as a deposit and you're getting that back, it's really like a zero deposit, isn't it? So you could put in another 10-20% if you wanted to, bring the payments down. Obviously you have lesser balloon if you wanted.
It's completely flexible as to what you just said. You know, it's independent, it's up to you. There's so many options available, and
I know if I'm purchasing a car, for me obviously it's all dependent on your cash flow, but as much as you can pay up front and as high payments as you can afford, it's always nice to know that, like towards the end of your term, that the car's near enough owned and outright,
that's a nice thing.
and you can then sell that or go again. And I think the beauty of buying a truck from Deranged is that it's got that really good residual value.
You're buying a brand name, which we're well and truly proven that. You know, the residuals hold their value, absolutely. We do have lenders that will offer enhanced balloons, and you touched on that. Obviously got relationships with banks who will offer enhanced balloons to a certain percentage, and that all helps bring your monthly payments down and keep it in a budget.
No, it's good. I think really hopefully that's given you guys a bit of knowledge if you needed it, and obviously you can ask any questions in the comments below, and we'll be happy to answer. So guys, Ian, thanks for watching. It was just a little one just to explain a little bit, you know, what goes on the business side of things and the benefits. I mean, you know, loads of benefits of buying a commercial vehicle. So if you are thinking about your next vehicle, you're thinking about, do I buy, you know, obviously the new Range Rover's come out, we all love it. If you're going to buy it through the business, it's going to, you know, £100,000 vehicle is going to end up costing you
a lot more when you
twice the monthly of what a Range Rover would cost you, at least, if not more. When you actually think about those monthly payments, and then you think about your benefiting car, you know, your company car tax, or however you look at it, all of that stuff on top, actually it works out a lot better to get a commercial, and we can uplift them so much, the vehicle, that, you know, by the time we put our interior in and make that, you know, that add that level of luxury, you know, these cars, these trucks now, they come with all of the, you know, bells and whistles, don't they? They've got, you know, they've got the sat nav and Apple CarPlay built in, front and rear sensors, cameras, heated seats, heated windscreen, all of those things that are just those little luxuries that you'd expect from a 4x4. But you're getting that beauty of all of that stuff, plus the benefits of putting it through the business.
And personal finance is available as well.
No, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Well, that might be another thing to touch on. You know, obviously we do sell other vehicles. You know, today we're talking more about you know, the commercials. But if you do need finance on any other vehicle, then we obviously offer that as well. You know, and there's the similar products available, isn't there? Absolutely. Just that you're doing it personally.
Any cars, vehicles that we have for sale, or, you know, if you do simply want a finance quote, we can help with that as well. So yeah, get in touch.
All right, perfect. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.